Oh, good evening, everyone. Please, can you hear me?
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening, sir. Can hear you.
Good evening, Ms. Patrick.
Good evening, sir.
Should we investment?
Sir.
Good evening, Mr. Omar. Miss Christiana, good evening. How
Hi,
are you guys?
sir. Good evening.
Miss Miriam,
Good evening,
Okay.
sir.
you're all welcome. You're welcome to class.
Good evening,
Yeah.
sir.
This man, you're not a serious person. Yeah. Miss Musumala, good evening. Omo, I don't tire. Are you even not tired of these classes? Yeah, I don't tire. Okay, I don't lie. Yeah. Supposed to be sleeping like this. Must you people chatter? You cannot just stop and say you don't want to chatter again. Oh, wow. This Allah is too much. And if you chat now, people will not be proud. You'll be changing your name everywhere, even on group chat. I open one group chat one day. Everything I just see there, ACA. Was pride going job now. I know we just rest. Say okay, maybe till next year. All lecturers should
We
go
are
and rest.
following your footsteps.
Don't follow my footstep. Oh. My footstep like this, it don't cost. Don't follow my footstep. People just rest. Say okay, oh, till next year. I like more. Anyways, as long as you are here, it means I'll be here too. As long as there's chartered accountant, there will be me. Because I love to produce them. The only woman I dey greet. I don't go since morning now. You want me to greet man? They say I like woman. Say na man I for like. I beg go. Anyways, thank you guys very much for being here. So I think we can. Okay, before I get started, yeah. First of all, I'd like to apologize for your Wednesday classes. I'm supposed to actually really monitor that class, but I don't know. I've not really had time to look into it. But I just noticed that for the past 2-3 weeks, those classes have not been. Sorry, those classes have not been holding. Sorry. So necessary adjustments will be made. Maybe if I have time, I'll be coming in 1 or 2 of the Wednesdays. We even have a lot to do. I'm supposed to start investment appraisal today. But based on the I told you guys should just trust me. That's the only thing you need to do. Don't complain. Like I always tell my students, my motto for people that know me, I think Mr. Omar was in my QuickBooks, my accounting software classes last diet. I think Miss Christiana has been in my accounting software class before. If you guys still remember the what's the name? The logo, I be the what's the name we used to call it? What's the name of this thing?
Slogan.
Our slogan. Do not panic. Don't panic. Just relax yourself. Don't pressure yourself. Because most of people complain, you don't check my assignments, do this, do that. Don't worry. I look at these things. There's people that will not just know, but look at them. But what I'm trying to say basically is I'm supposed to start investment appraisal today, at least introduction for a start. But based on the results I saw from the assignment I looked at, everybody that submitted got it wrong. Everybody that submitted got it wrong. So I just knew there was problem somewhere. So I had to come and do revision. Please, 1 minute. Anyways, I'm back. I was trying to plan my food structure. Lecturer said go shut up. Anyways, so I was saying that everybody that submitted that assignment got it very wrong. So that's why I decided to come and do the corrections to the assignment. And I also saw a question in Pathfinder, which I would really like to address because it leads me to something I felt like I accidentally omitted. So I was just, thank God I said, I was just calling through Pathfinder. Even me, where I know the right exam, go, I did read. So I was just calling through Pathfinder, and I saw that question. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think I particularly spoke about this at length. So I decided to bring the questions. So those are the 2 things we'll do. So if time permits and I still have strength, maybe I'll do introduction to investment appraisal. But if I don't have strength, or if time does not permit, maybe we'll start that on Wednesday if Mr. Michael does not come to class. So maybe I'll be the one to do that on Wednesday then. Because investment appraisal, we need to move very, very fast. I mean very, very fast because it's a lot. It is a lot. So that being said, how is reading going? Oh, yeah. Has anybody finished the syllabus?
Not yet,
Anybody
oh.
Is it too much to finish?
It is, oh.
It's not too much now.
Friday, why?
Just more SFM syllabus. I finished that syllabus in 2 months. Nah lie you. nah actually lie. Hey. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is please and please read your books. People are in professional stage. I don't need to give you advices of you cannot pass if you don't read, blah blah blah. Those things I used to tell my foundation students. I cannot tell you guys that. You guys are senior men and women. And don't forget I told you that this is the level that separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. So I don't need to give you too much advices, but what I want to tell you is please read. Read though. At this point, you're not supposed to be sleeping again. You know the funniest part, people in skills and in foundation, they can be sleeping because they feel like even if they fail, they still have another level regardless of the fail or the pass. So they know that ICANN is they are still not done with ICANN. But at this stage for you people, if you are not splitting, or maybe some people that know that they are still coming together next semester regardless. Or sorry, they are still coming together next diet regardless. But for people like you, it is within the reach already. You're already looking at it in your phones like this. So at this point is where you should give it all. If you pass all, that's where it ends. Do you understand? If you start having sleepless nights by now, that is where it ends. And you pass all. You are not me like this. Me that you are looking at me like this. If not because of these classes, I don't go sleep. Yes, now. If not because of these classes, by 8, 9, I don't go crash. Unless nothing is waking me up. If anything ring, I call. There's not like alarm or anything. But it's because I have peace of mind that okay, I no could get exam. I don't get anything. But if it's time for exam, I know how to pattern myself. But what I'm saying is, once you are chattered, it's just there's a feeling to it that people are struggling and you are not. You are just relaxing. Last year, I think it was last year that a friend of mine that was still writing the exam, I think Present dropped overnight. It dropped this lady was legit calling me in the midnight. Say, Mr. Shile, okay, she called me Shile, Alpha, Present don't come out. In my head, I was just waking up. First question is, waiting be Present. Started accountant, because I was just waking up. I was not even processing it. I said, I beg, waiting be Present. Say, Present now, Present. I first say, because I don't even look at the face, I won't even say I beg wrong number. Because in my head, I was like, what the fuck is Present? It's in the Present. So as I wanted to say, I can't look at, I said, this is Ella now. And I had to look, Ella, Present, case study, oh shit. And this was a paper that when I wrote my final, it was the only one I failed. That's the only paper I had to write twice in my final stage. Like I had to, after the first try, I wrote the second try before I passed it. So I'm supposed to know it. But I'm just telling you that once you are that rich, once you're already there, you just have peace of mind, regardless of what you want to put in your name. And most of you just want to put a lot of rubbish, a lot of all those things in your name. But it's not rubbish, please. But regardless of whatever you want to put in your name, the peace of mind matters. So what I'm trying to say is, please put in your all now. Please, I'm begging. Put in your all so that at the end of the day, you can have the peace of mind that we're having. You can benefit from this peace of mind. Just try to put in your all. It's not going to happen twice. If you clear everything now, nobody's going to say, come and write this one again. What's learning here? It's gone. So please put in your all. Start solving past questions. I think it was only one person. I think it was only Miss Miriam. So that people will know I know you people. It's only Miss Miriam that has asked me question outside the questions I've solved in class. She's the only person that have asked me question outside what I have solved in class. And it's not supposed to be like that. I'm supposed to be seeing questions from Pathfinder. How did they do this here? Okay, I think somebody else asked also that, okay, the person solved it. Then she made mistake. I think it's Miss Angela. Then she made mistake. Then I had to correct her that, okay, this was what you did wrong, this was what you did correct, and all those things. So please, I want to be seeing questions like that. It might take time for me to reply, but I'll reply, please. You already have past questions guide. You have all the things you need. Past question guide. As you have finished portfolio theory today like this, I expect you to bring out all the questions in portfolio theory. That is the only way you can pass. I'm not even joking. That's the only way you can pass SFM. Because I've said it 1,013,000 times that SFM is very dynamic. Don't structure your brain that it can only come one way. It cannot come one way. It cannot come one. It will not come one. It will never come one way. I gave you guys an example where I said last diet question. Last diet took us approximately about 2-3 months to do investment appraisal Because in investment appraisal, we first do basic investment appraisal. After basic investment appraisal, we will do normal capital budgeting, normal NPV, but now with relevant cash flows. After that one, you do adjusted present value. After adjusted present value, you do international capital budgeting. That's about 4 or 5 topics in just one topic. It took us last year, it took us about 2-3 months approximately. My dear students, one question like this, one question did not come out in investment appraisal. There was no one question that came out in investment appraisal last night. Something that took me, you wasted 2-3 months of my time, of my time, exactly. So what I'm saying is, they are wicked people. These people are wicked people, and don't allow them to be wicked on you. It cannot come one way, and the only way to know the only way to know all the ways it can come is if you have checked all the ways they've tested them. If you have checked all the ways, even if it comes in a different way, I'm sure you have an idea based on all the ones you've gathered. Another good thing about SFM is, once you've checked the pattern, no matter how they bring, just understand the basics. No matter how they bring it, you can always know how to navigate yourself back to what they are trying to ask. So I'm expecting any serious thing I want to pass SFM to have done by now. For calculative courses for my own, and we've done bond valuation. I expect any serious student that actually wants to write this diet and wants to pass this diet comfortably, conveniently, should have brought out all the questions in bond valuation in the Pathfinder. If it's about 6 or 7, at least you should have solved half. I know you don't have time. I know there's work, but that's what I expect. Bond valuation is long now. At least about 2-3 weeks ago. So you should have solved about half of the questions in the Pathfinder. Now we'll finish portfolio theory today again. Now, people that have not read, you will join to it again. But if you have solved that one, now you can start trying to solve this one. I told you already, if we start investment appraisal next week, it's going to be choked though. It's going to be really, really choked. Because at that particular point, your cost of capital also is getting very intense. Mr. God of mercy. Mr. Foxy is going to start mergers and acquisition very soon. All those corporate failure that he's teaching, it's because it's just giving you, it will start mergers and acquisition also very soon. All of them, they are all jam packing. So all these ones that you have learned, please and please, solve questions, read them. I'm trying to wait for people new. That's what I'm trying to wait for people small. Anyways, but try to read, please, solve questions. That's the only way. Solve questions, both theory, and I've told you, if you don't leave your theory, I beg, don't just be pressing calculator. Both theory and calculation. A lot of my students, theory made them pass last night. A lot, because most of them, they focused a lot on investment appraisal. But there was one thing I did last night. I think it was I don't know if I still have them. A theory summary for all the theories that I sent them close to their exam that I did for them. And I also brought out some theory questions that I sent them. Those were what helped a lot of them. And I had good, God so good. I had enough or a lot of students passed SFM. A lot of my students actually passed SFM last night. A lot. I think they were more than the previous diet. And this a lot, I'm saying, I'm talking above 50, 100 that passed SFM. Above 50, 100 that passed SFM last night. So if they can do it, believe me, you can also do it. And I'm still the same person. I'm even better now, Seth. Yes, now. I'm proud, though. Let me pride myself. I'm even a better lecturer than I was last night. I'm not even joking. I'm even a better lecturer now than I am last night. So what I'm saying is, people are enjoying me now than they are. The only thing is, mid diet is always very short. So that's why it looks like we are always rushing into that November. I had time. So you people are enjoying me more than they are. So if you people calm down, you follow me back to back, you solve questions, you ask me questions, you solve my assignment, I think we have a very, very good to go. So I think I've had enough students in my class. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope some of you take my advice, or most of you, all of you take my advice. I know there's work, there's family. People that will cook, people that will, but please just try. Just spare time, please. Just try. When you qualify now, even your wife and your children will be happy for you. They will call you chartered accountant. You will not remember me then. No. You will not say, it's this man. You will not happen. After, as results come out like this, you don't say, thank you, Mr. Nadia, end. Nadia, it just end. So it's you and your family that will be carrying the glory. So please, let's just try. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you very much. I think I've spent enough time doing that. And I will tell you why I decided to start with that also. And why. So what I'm planning to do today, I think I already told some of you. So we are doing portfolio theory revision. So I do not plan to go through the theoretical part again with you, because if you have the material, you can do that on your own. So I do not plan to go through the theoretical part. What I just want to do for you or do with you today is just let's, like I said, I'll solve the assignment, I'll solve the question in Pathfinder, then I'll brief you through some other things, mostly calculation aspect, but we'll just go you through what portfolio theory generally is about for people that were not, or people that have missed or that were not in previous classes. I don't think that should take time. By 10, I should be done with the introduction. Then by 11 IS, I should be done solving the 2 questions. That's my target anyways. So thank you very much for listening to me. Permission to fire on, please.
Fire on, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So now, portfolio theory. About 2-3 weeks ago, we started a topic called portfolio theory, where I explained what portfolio means to you. I said portfolio just simply means like a basket of investment. Don't forget, just like a basket of investment. Like you have real estate, you have bonds, you have stocks, just a basket where all of them are all stocked. Just like a basket of investment. Some of you here have a basket of investments. It's called a portfolio. You call it portfolio of investment. So I said that don't forget that whenever you have a portfolio, whenever you have any investment, there are 2 things you always want, or there are 2 things you always consider, which are the risk and the return. Is it of high risk? Is it of high return? Is it of low risk? Is it of low return? So those are basically the 2 things you always consider, which are also the 2 things we consider here in portfolio theory. We consider the risk and we consider the return. Talking about risk, I told you we have 2 types of risk. We have the systematic risk and we have unsystematic risk. So we have systematic and we have unsystematic risk. Systematic risk is basically a risk that affects how would I say it now? Is a risk that affects that affects the whole economy, that affects all the business, all the organizations in the economy. That's a systematic risk. It is non-diversifiable. It is they call it a lot of names. It's also called beta risk. It is market imposed, a lot. That is what a systematic risk is called. Beta risk. That's what a systematic risk is called. Examples of things that cause a systematic risk is when there was COVID. Where there was COVID, all industries were affected, all organizations were affected. War can cause systematic risk. All those things, war, political turmoil, inflation, pandemic, you can call it a systematic risk. What unsystematic risk? Unsystematic risk are basically risks that affect a particular industry or a particular organization. They are usually avoidable, they are diversifiable, and they are also called alpha risk. They are called alpha risk. Now, talking about diversifiable, it leads me to what I call risk diversification. What I mean by risk diversification is just, in summary, what they say: don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your investment in a particular investment. What I'm saying is, don't put all your money or all your capital, all your life savings. Don't put it on just stock. Don't put all your life savings. Don't put it on just real estate. Don't put it on just bond. Diversify. That is, if you have 1 million, put 20,000 in stock. If you have 1 million, put 200,000 in stock, 200,000 in bond, 200,000 in real estate, 200,000 in agricultural sector, 200,000 in commodities exchange. So split your investment so that when there is downfall in one, you can always be benefiting from the other. And when you are benefiting from one, you can also be benefiting from all of them. What I'm saying is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That is what portfolio diversification is simply talking about. Although I told you that we have 3 types of diversification. We have what we call horizontal diversification. We have what we call you wish remind me. Horizontal, conglomerate, and concentric. Yes. So we have horizontal diversification, we have conglomerate, and we have concentric diversification. Please, all those definitions are in the material. Please look at them and understand what they mean, each and every one of them. I don't want to be explained, but they just simply mean adding new products to existing products or services, adding new products with new technology. Please look at them and look at their differences between them. So from there, we also spoke about capital security, capital asset line, and capital security line. Please look at them. They are all in your material. Please and please look at them. So let me come to the calculation aspect. So I said this is exactly where I'm going to. Now, if you've been to my portfolio theory class from beginning, you people listen to me. I always give you put trick. Now, the ways that portfolio theory can come, if you have paper and pencil, if you have paper and pencil, paper and biro, if you can jot this down, I will really appreciate. So the ways that portfolio theory can come, first of all, don't forget what I told you. You can be asked to calculate the portfolio risk or the portfolio return. Listen to me. You can be asked to calculate the portfolio risk or the portfolio return. If you ask to calculate portfolio risk, or if you ask to calculate, I'm not sharing anything from my screen, I'm just talking to you. If you ask to calculate portfolio risk or portfolio return, that is when you can use that long formula. If you guys remember what that long formula I gave you for portfolio risk and portfolio return. For portfolio risk, the formula is square root. This formula is square root weight standard deviation x squared plus weight standard deviation y squared plus 2 weight of standard deviation x plus weight standard deviation. I don't know if I'm saying the correct thing, but it looks like it. Shout that long formula. It's called SNCC formula. That's the name. SNCC formula. That's what it's called. So it's around that. It's basically the weight and the standard deviation of x squared, then weight of standard deviation y plus weight x weight y like that, plus correlation coefficient. That's how to calculate portfolio risk. For portfolio return, there's also a formula for it where I also give that also to you. Now, you can also be asked to calculate individual risk and individual return. That is where you do all those tabular form. But please note all those places you go to these things, note, it is not usually common for ICANN to ask you those things. Shengbo, are you listening to me? It is not usually common for ICANN to ask you those things. Why is it not common? It's not common because that thing is, for people that don't understand Yoruba, Osumo statistics is closer to statistics than it is to SFM. The only thing that it portrays is the return and the risk, but it's closer to statistics than it is to SFM. I hope I'm making sense. Based on my experience, based on, if you've checked Pathfinder, I don't think you can find more than once that they've tested something like this. That tabular thing. They don't really test it because they feel like it's closer to statistics. Now, which one do they particularly test? When they want to test portfolio theory is closer to CAPM or is related to CAPM. What makes it related to CAPM? You know that CAPM is a formula to determine your cost of equity. Your cost of equity is simply the return. It's simply your rate of return. That is the rate of the average return that you want to make on an investment. That's basically what your cost of equity is. So now cost of equity using CAPM is a little or is more related or is even related to this particular return also, because you can use CAPM to calculate the return that you want to make for your portfolio. So they always like to link it with CAPM. So that is the one they test the more, the linkage with CAPM. Then what is the linkage now with CAPM? The linkage with CAPM is, don't forget your CAPM formula. Your CAPM formula is your cost of equity equals to your risk-free plus beta, open brackets, your market return minus your risk-free. Good. Now, that is your cost of equity formula. That's your CAPM formula. Now, there's beta. Don't forget I've mentioned something called beta risk to you. So now there's beta involved in that CAPM formula. In this portfolio also, there's beta also involved. So most times, that is the one they like to link it to. Now, you see that I've splitted them. Now, I've told you where they like to link it to and where they don't like to link it to. Now, let's focus more on where they like to link it to. The one they don't like, people should go and solve. Those ones are very easy. They were the one we did in the first class. Just tabular method and all those big formulas. Now, let's move to the where they like to link it to. Now, whenever they want to link portfolio theory to CAPM, most times, two things are involved. Don't forget, when I was talking to you about types of risk, I mentioned systematic risk, which is measured by what? Beta. Then I mentioned unsystematic risk, which is measured by what? Measured by alpha. Now, what I'm saying is, if you want to link it to CAPM, it can come in two ways, majorly two ways. Now, the first way you can come is they can ask you to calculate. I hope somebody's jotting this thing down, sure. It can come in two ways. The first way is they can ask you to calculate your what? They can ask you to calculate your required return. I hope somebody's listening to me. They can ask you to calculate your required return. Once you ask to calculate your required return, now they would have given you your expected return or they would give you information leading to your expected return. Usually, most times they always give it to you. Usually, I'm not saying every time, most times they always give it to you, which is the expected return. The last question we solved, they did not give us expected return, but they gave us dividend and they gave us capital yield gain. The people that have solved question, you will see it. They gave us dividend and they gave us capital yield gain. We added the two, if you can remember. We added the two to get our expected return. But usually they always give you expected return. But like I said, I don't want to stereotype your mind. They might not give it to you. So if you don't give it to and they give you dividend and maybe capital yield gain or anything, but what expected return? I gave you guys the differences between expected return and required return, Daddy. So what expected return is simply just saying, okay, I've not made the investment, but I'm just looking at the return I might make. That's what expected return is saying. That okay, if I put 1 million, I'm supposed to see this particular amount. So just put, so if you want to, so if they don't give you expected return in exam, just add information. Or if they give you other information, just look at it and think of information that can lead you to an expected return. In that last question we saw, we had dividend and we had capital yield gain. For somebody that wants to make an investment, obviously, you look at the dividend that they will be paying you now, and what they did with the gain on your capital also, that's what gave us our expected return. Now that is that for expected return. Now where the cocoa is going to go is the required return. Required return is you've made the investment. How much now you've made the investment? How much are you expected to make? How much are you required to make? This one is live now. The investment is there already. It's not like expected. You've not even made the investment. But for required return, now you've made the investment. Now, what I'm saying is, for this required return, this is where the problem is. Because if you want to calculate your required return, you will need to use CAPM to get your required return. Required return, they would have given you information for your risk-free. They would have given you information required regarding your market return. And in some cases, they would have given you information relating to your beta. So once they've given you information relating to your beta, just substitute them into your CAPM formula to determine your required return. Then compare your expected return minus required return to determine your alpha value. Expected return minus required return, it gives you alpha value now. Do you guys remember what? Please, I hope you guys understand what. Do you guys remember what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me know first. Maybe I did speak grammar. So what I'm saying is, so expected return minus required return, it gives you your alpha value. And I gave you a simple way to actually solve if it's undervalued or overvalued. I'm sure in some of these centers, you might have heard some grammars. You might have heard some people, like I said, this FM is very dynamic. They can come in any way. Lecturers explain it in different ways. It does not mean they are wrong. So they might have explained it to you in a different way. But the method I like to use, or the rule I like to use, is called NOPU rule. NOPU. Negative means overvalued, positive means undervalued. So once you subtract your expected return from your required return, if you get negative, it means it's overvalued. If you get positive, it means it is what? It is undervalued. And I said if it is overvalued, it means that you should sell. Abi, if it's overvalued, it means you should sell. If it's undervalued, it means you should buy more. And if it is the same, if they are equal, it means you should what?
Hold.
It means you should
Observe.
hold. Observe, Bawo. It means you should hold. It means you should hold. Thank you. So that is the first way it can come. Now, ICANN, people that have been here, obviously, you have been here because of experience. People that have been here, ICANN to be very, very wicked people. This is what leads me to where I want to go today, which is, what if in situations where they don't give you beta? We're trying to calculate required return, and I said in some situations they can give you beta, but believe me, in some situations they might not give you beta. What about situations where they don't give you your beta? There are 4 ways that you can calculate your beta. I don't think that's in your material. I don't think I explained it in the last class, which was my bad. So when I saw that question in I think it's November 2016. So if you don't have that question, please download it now. That's the second question we'll be talking about today. I think it's November 2016. I'm sure. I think it's November 2016. So please, if you don't have it, please try to download it now. So what I'm saying is there are actually several formulas, but usually for the purpose of this exam, just look at 4. There are about 4 different formulas to determine your beta. But now, those 4 formulas, it's not as if you use all of them. You only use one, but the one you will use will be based on the information that is provided to you. the information that you will use is based on the information that is provided to you. The first one is your excess return on security over your excess return on market. That one, based on information, if you have information regarding your excess return on security, you have information regarding your excess return on market, you can use that. The second one is covariance of security of the market over variance of the market. That's your cov M over standard deviation M or variance M, whichever. That's the second one. The third one, which is the most popular or the most used by ICANN, is your correlation, the one that involves your correlation coefficient, which is your correlation coefficient multiplied by your standard deviation of the security over standard deviation of market. Correlation, that's the most common. That's even the one ICANN likes to use. So that's most likely the one, either that one or the one of covariance. Those are the popular ones that they like to use. Although I will still write them in your material. I'll write them in your material anyway. So those are the two ones. The ones that involve covariance and the ones that relate to your correlation coefficient. So now, depending on the informations you have. So if you have information relating to correlation coefficient, now you know the formula to use. If you have information relating to your covariance, now you know the formula to use. So if you use any of them, determine the beta of each of the security, and you substitute into your cost of equity, and you get your what? You get your required return. So once you get your required return, you subtract your expected return from it, and you get your answer. Low beta, that is all. That is basically all on portfolio theory, basically all. So if you've looked at Pathfinders, I'm sure you would know that that is basically all with portfolio theory. Please, do you have any question, please?
Sir, you said there
Next
is
3.
4 ways to get beta factor, sir.
The next 3 minutes, please. Questions, please.
You said about covariance, but you did not give the formulas because I guess it comes with formulas, please.
I just said the formula now.
Throw more light on them, please. Thank you.
Throw more light on
Then
formula.
on the 4 ways, please.
That's the light I can throw. Lights don't cost now, madam. Units now, like this, not expensive. Anyways, I will write the formulas that I said I will write them out. So once I write them out, I'm sure I would speak about them.
The question that the year of the question that you are talking about is May 2019. Question 4.
It's May 2019.
Question 4.
How did you know the question I'm talking about, madam? I just want to know, how did you know the question I was talking about?
Sorry.
No, I'm just asking now. I don't think it's May. I don't think it's May, Shao. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's May. Try November 2016. Is there portfolio theory in November 2016? Question. If there is, then that is it.
November 2016.
Check that one first, make I see. I don't think it's May. I think it's November. Check first, make I know.
Yeah, it's November 2016, but it's not the same. The beta was given. No, it's covariance. Okay. No problem.
Madam, I don't. What is the question? Give me names of the companies there. I'm sure I'll remember. Or the names of the securities.
The names of the securities is company ABCD for November 2016, question 6.
ABCD. Like the full name. Is this all ABCD? There's no full name.
For November 2016.
So the question is November 2016, question 5. That's
What's the
question
name of
she's
the
talking about. It's 4 securities, Arike or Arika. No, sorry, Akira, Bombardier, and Courage PLC, Divine PLC.
I think it's that one. So it's that one I want to do because it relates more to what I want to explain. Oh yeah, please ask me question. Oh yeah. I don't tire already. I never even start. Miss Miriam, you want to talk to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
in that 2016, that question 5, the A part says assumption of CAPM. That we should give the theories of CAPM. Please, sir, is the theory of CAPM similar to the modern portfolio theory?
I don't understand. Is this similar to modern portfolio theory?
Yeah, like You know, we have theories of portfolio, right? Which is the third one is modern portfolio theory, and it has its assumptions. The
What are the,
assumption is it
what
the
are its
same as,
assumptions?
sorry,
What are its assumptions?
of the modern portfolio theory,
Hmm.
that the investors are risk adverse and they should have all information should be known to them.
Yes, they are the same thing.
Are they the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let me say something on that. They might, how would I say it now? You know, like I told you, the thing is, they're actually still related. Portfolio theory, CAPM. So one's assumptions can still serve as the other. So all this, they are risk averse, all information must be known to them. There's perfect market, all those things. If that is what you are saying for, but then they are the same thing. Oh yeah. Any other question? Should I fire on, please? No question. Okay. So let's start. Oh yeah, let me first start with the assignment. Assignment, you people cooked. That thing you people cooked, he passed beans. He passed beans. So there was I've already told you people something, but just like the fact that there was attempt, yeah. But I felt like if I was the one in that position, I would have sent a voice note to the lecturer that, Oga, is it that this question is not correct? But I saw there was one, I think it was Miss Angela. I cannot remember the exact question I checked. The first thing I said was, this figure is big now. Like left me, I feel like that's how I would have known I was doing rubbish. Left me. Some people were getting standard deviation. They get 1,000, 9,000. How? You're getting variance. They get 7,000, 8,000. Hey. I feel like that's how I would have known there was something wrong. And I would have either not submitted or sent a voice note to the lecturer and be like, these figures I'm getting are not looking real. They are not looking real at all. How will you get standard deviation and get 70,000, 60,000? What are you? How is it risk 60,000? Why are you not? That's a lot now. So like when the first figure I saw, first assignment I looked, that was I'd not checked the solution whether it was correct or not. I don't know if the person is here. First thing I said was, this figure is big. Like without even knowing what the question entails, without even remembering the question, but I knew for a standard deviation, for a variance, the figures are actually too big. That's where you people will know there's something wrong. Usually, variance, standard deviation, they're not usually more than 10. Like after you've done that square root, usually 2, 3, 4. You can't do your own, they get 800, they get 900. Somebody who had 1,000, 10,000 and something. Ow. So I just knew that. And I feel like another place people made mistake is we are trying to get return that you are still getting 10,000 and something for return. Don't forget these things are implicit. I feel like that's why you people did not particularly get it correct. That's why you people did not know. These things are in percentage. This return, like after you multiply by a ratio, is in percentage. That is after probability. Sorry. The next one is in percentage. The return is in percentage. So how are you people doing that return? Are getting something that's supposed to be, so you're getting 17,000 and something percent. Please, somebody should read the question for me, I beg. I can remember. Oh, yeah, number. That one I told you to do as assignment. Someone wanted to tell me something. Sorry, sir. I forgot to know. I think somebody wanted to ask me something. But someone should read the question for me. Okay, Mr. Francis.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I actually foresee that there was a problem with this question because having 1 million naira investment and just 60,000 is being allocated to a security. I actually solved the question using 100,000. That is 60,000.
Is it 1 million that is there?
Yes, it's 1 million. I used 60,000.
Is it 1 million? I don't think so. Let me check.
It is 1 million.
It's 1 million. So I actually use 60,000 and 40,000. Though I didn't submit the assignment.
Now 1 million.
Yes, it's 1 million that is here. So
supposed to actually be 100K.
Yes. So I use 60,000 and 40,000. but I'm sorry I didn't submit it. Otherwise, I think I'm somewhere close because
I
I
don't think
actually
I don't think you are
converted.
close. Because people that got 2 million, it was not even because of this 1 million that they got that 2 million that they did.
Because I converted this 75, these returns, divide by the investment to get the yield, which actually
What did you do? 75,000 minus.
divide by 100,000 to get the yield.
You have carried this somewhere else. But at least you
Okay.
had that initiative of dividing, which means most people were multiplying it by this thing straight. They were not
No.
dividing anything. Most people I saw,
Correct.
they were using the 75,000 directly as it is as a return. They were taking it as, so they were multiplying by this probability straight. 75,000 multiplied by this multiplied by how. This is okay. I'm not even sharing my screen. Let me share my screen so that people will see what I'm
Wait,
saying.
something I tried, which I don't know, I got confused later on. What I did was 75,000 minus 60,000 divided by 60.
That is the answer now.
Oh,
That would have I would don't do transfer for you.
That was what I did too, but I felt like I was doing rubbish, so I just left it.
exactly. That's what I feel. That's why I left it.
I would don't do transfer for honor like this. Because that would have just busted my head, honestly. But that would have some people were now multiplying 75,000 by probability. This one multiplied by you can't get big figures. I was saying, let me check. And they see, don't let me even check. I feel cry. And they see variance 800 and 1,000. You will now square root it. You now have 40. Abba, you would have known something was wrong with whatever you were doing. Anyways, but like that's why we are here. Anyways, that's why we are here. We are here to learn. We are here to make mistakes. I even appreciate the way most of you made mistakes so that we can all trash it out and we can know what we did correct. Now imagine most people did not do it. There was no mistake. I just assumed that you people understood it and we moved on. And there would have been a problem. So thank you very much for attempting it. So let me come on. So I hope you guys can see my screen anyways.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. To be somebody to read the question from me, Matunri, I cannot find our working note again. No. This working note thing used to stress me. Maybe I should come and pen it. Every class, I always look for that working note. Please, what is the name of the working note? Oh, Chem. Okay, I've seen it. Solution to portfolio theory question mark. Undefined working note up and down. Oh, is it even this one? Okay, I think it's this one. We are. I want you to read the question for me. The question is a little bit wrong. It's supposed to be 100,000, not 1 million. But that still does not mean anything. You people still got it wrong. Either 1 million, even if it's 10 naira as if, and I still cook best. Solution to assignment. Someone should read the question for me now.
Mr. Banks has just won 100,000 from Sportybet and has decided for the interim to place the money on two securities, A and B, for a period of 1 year. 60,000 naira is to be placed on security A and the balance on security B. He has estimated returns. That is cash flows to be received at the end of the year.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, that is cash flows to be received at the end of the year plus project value at the time. And the probabilities of all the three possible states are as follow. All figure assumed correct. Required. A. Calculate the expected returns, variance, and standard deviation.
Okay, so hold on. So for A, what are we calculating, please? Let me that's it. So calculation of expected return,
variance and standard deviation of each security.
Variance and standard deviation of each security. Oh, yeah. Let me hold on. Let's just finish this one. Let me go and copy and paste all those my big plenty tables. Even this one I need. Okay, let me use this. Will this work? I think this should work. I'll pick up user. Let's test me. I don't want to say. So I'm going to do like this. Okay. So what's the probability, please?
The probability is 0.30
Hold on, let me
for
add one more so that I can list out the stuff. Hold 1 minute, please. So let me see. The amount one. So let me see. State, Abby.
yes, sir.
A, B, and C. Oh yeah, probability.
0.30, 0.45, and 0.25.
My return. 75,000.
75,000.
Trust you.
73,200.
You will not cost 75,000. Okay. Listen to me. See, I can. They are very smart. It's just you that needs to be smarter. Don't. One of the reasons that people fail the most is you jump to solve. As you see, Sabian, you don't properly solve. No. See, if it's too easy, if it's too direct, be conscious. Because just be conscious of what you are doing. Because I'm pretty sure what you are doing is wrong. Because it's not always that easy. If it's 75,000, just know that there's something wrong. Look at that head of that thing. They said predicted returns at the end of the year. Shape predicted returns. Sorry for people that don't understand. Is it predicted returns we've been using since? Or check the previous questions we've been solving. Have you ever seen predicted there? It's not predicted returns now. What we've been doing since has been returns. So what this particular question is saying is, okay, this person wants to make 100,000, or this person has 100,000 for this particular security. He wants to invest 60,000. Can I tell him now? Okay, out of that 60,000, he has about 3 lists. That's the list of ABC. So he has about 3 lists that he's thinking that okay, I'm supposed to make this on this. Is a predicted return. It is not the how would I say it? The predicted return that he has is in value term, not in percentage. Are you people meeting me? If you check the previous ones we've been solving, the returns have always been in percentage, 25%. But this is 75,000 naira. We are just trying to convert that predicted returns in naira to predicted returns in percentage. Simple as ABC. That is where most of you took it to where I do not know. You changed your question. You set question for yourself. This thing is in predicted returns, is in naira amount. Just convert the naira, convert it to percentage. Simple as ABC. Simple as ABC. Just come here. Sorry. Say conversion of predicted returns to button. So you come here. So for the first one, you say state A equals to what? So you want to convert something to percentage now, don't forget it's usually old minus new over old. That's it. So that is what you do. So you're trying to convert. So it's 60,000. So you're supposed to do 75,000 minus the total amount over the total amount. Easy peasy. Ha. I beg you. You should not go and fumble in exam. So like this, before people now come out and be shouting, I've killed Ika after they don't injure now. So it's 75,000 minus 60,000 over what? 60,000. So what's my answer? What's my answer? There's no time.
0.25.
25.
Can you see?
0.25.
Can you see that it looks a bit better than that thing you got? So it's not 25%. So the second one, okay, that's 73,200, I mean.
22%.
0.22%.
22%.
That wouldn't be 0.22%. Is either is
22%.
0.24 is 22%. Yeah, 22%. The last one go
0.25.
that's 25.
25%.
Lobaton. So this is your return now. So you come here, madam. You say hi. So this is 25. What you don't know, you don't know. That's just the thing. This last one is what? This last one is what? 25.
12%.
Okay, it's not 75 again, or is what again? What's the figure of this thing here?
67,200.
12%.
67,200.
So you come here 25, 22, 12. So what's our expected return now? So this is another way you can determine your expected return. So if this is what I'm saying is, please, portfolio theory is simple. It's a question you should attempt. Don't run away from it. But you need to know the basis. It's always based on information that is given to you. You know that your expected return is always most likely will be given to you. And in situations where they now give you all these informations, probability and all those things, and they ask you, I did not give you any information for expected return. You know, I did not teach you. If you multiply your return, multiply by your probability, will give you expected return now. So whether you do it like this or you do dividend plus your capital gain, like I told you, always look for the pattern we'll be using so that you can accumulate all the knowledge necessary. So this answer now is our expected return. So it's not as if they will now give you all this information. You tell you to calculate expected return, you will say no, I did not say it, that's how you will get it. I beg. Oh yeah. That was the first one.
7.5.
7.5.
9.9.
9.9.
And 3.
Okay. So what's my total expected return? What's the total? What's the total? What's the total?
$20.
20.4.
20.4.
So what's this minus this? Like this minus this. X minus this is our X. X minus X bar. 25 minus this. This should be 4.6.
4.6.
This should be 1.6. This should
Minus
be
8.4.
8.1. So what is this squared? That's 21.13.
1.16.
0.13.
16. 2.56. 2.56. Then 70.56.
Thank you very much. I like my women who they are not active today. Sir, please ride on.
Then this
Answer.
6.35.
I'm active today. I'm fast. I'm looking for answers real
1.15.
quick. Yeah.
1.15. 15. Then 17.64. That's a total of 25.14.
25. Please confirm his answers. It's too fast for those answers. Me no go cook for us. Sorry, I want to copy something. So we are supposed to calculate. So we are supposed to calculate expected return. We have calculated it. What's the next one I'm supposed to calculate? Hold on, please.
Variance and standard
Variance
deviation.
and standard deviation.
Variance and standard deviation. Okay.
Variance.
So this is our Canaan. This is our variance. Let's just do standard deviation. Our variance is 25.14 now, Abi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You are too fast, though.
I'm
You
fast.
are too
How?
fast.
It's an assignment to madam. I'm just helping you. So the next, what's my standard deviation?
5.01.
All these things are things we've done now.
5.01 standard.
Take off. Yes. Yeah. Is there anybody that doesn't understand what I've done here?
Yes, sir.
What part don't you understand?
This S minus S bar.
Which
After
one?
that
This is
expression, I didn't understand it.
for me, eh?
Yes, sir.
Man, have you ever been on a portfolio theory class?
I did last week. I didn't see this one when you taught it.
Because this was what we did in the first day. Now we didn't do this in the last class. In the last class, please try to watch the video from the first day. But what we did was this thing here is our X. This thing here is our X bar. The total here is our X bar. So what we did was, so to get our X bar is summation of all these things. So this is our X bar. So what we did was 25 minus this, 22 minus this, 12 minus this.
Okay.
This is our X. So the total of everything is our X bar.
Okay.
Yeah, please, who else does not understand what's happening here? Mr. Chairman, please talk to me.
Sir, yes, I understood this one. I said down.
So which one did you not understand?
The second one.
Which one be the second one? What's the second one? X minus X bar square.
Yes, S minus S squared. S bar squared.
Let's
Yes.
square these answers now.
Okay.
This is your X minus X bar.
Mm-hmm.
Just add square to each and every one of them. You get this one.
Okay.
If you square 4.6, you get square this one. You get this one. That's what we are doing. This X minus X bar. X minus. So we are just squaring all our answers here. For the last one, we are just this is probability multiplied by these answers,
Thank
and this is our probability. So we're just multiplying probability by each of these answers to get these ones.
you. Okay, sir.
Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, who else does not understand what is happening here? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Sir,
What part don't you understand?
just to get clarity, I missed that part of the predicted return. Do we need to sum all of them, like the three of them that are under E? Then we'll be looking at the first one against the total, multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Just want to be sure of it.
No, I don't understand that your logic.
I don't know how to get the predicted return. I was thinking maybe yes, it's there already. So I tried to convert it percentage really.
That's what we did here. 5,000 minus 60,000 over 60,000.
All right, sir.
Why we did it like this was this 75,000 is in monetary term. So we need to convert it to percentage. So we just did 75,000 minus that 60,000 that the person wants to invest over that 60,000. Give us the percentage.
All right, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So don't forget this for security X. So let's do for security Y. So security X. Security Y. I expect some people to be doing it like this. So the only thing I want now is just my answer. Security. Oh, oh yeah. What's my let's do the conversion. So the first one, what's the first one?
0.14.
Give me the figures, please.
45,600 minus 40,000.
600 minus 40,000 over 40K. What's my answer for that?
0.14.
The second one, go.
47,200.
What's my answer?
0.18.
Third one, go.
48,000.
What's the answer?
0.2.
0. What?
0.2.
That's 20%. 14, 18, 20. Oh yeah, expected return somebody.
4.2.
4.2.
8.1.
8.1.
8.1.
And
5.
5.
This was the total.
17.3.
My ladies are awake. Yeah, X minus X bar.
3.3 minus 3.
Is she?
0.7.
Just be calling it. I'm active.
2.7.
18. Is it 18.7? What did you say?
No, 0.7. 2.7.
2.7. What's my X minus X bar?
0.99.
0.99.
Oh,
It's
no.
10.89. 10.89. 0.49.
This one's 0.9.
7.29.
So my this multiplied by my probability.
$3.27.
3.27.
What you should be doing the last one like that already now.
0.22.
1.82.
Total.
5.31.
It's I don't go do like this. Okay. What's my standard deviation?
2.30.
2.30.
Kilobaton. Did anybody get it? Lie. Anybody that gets it, I will do transfer. Anybody? Going. Hey, you know the joy in giving you questions that you wouldn't know. They always sweet me. Oh yeah, what's the second one?
Sir, can you scroll up a bit?
What you want to? Okay, sir. You can go and do the rest by yourself now. I think that's just majorly where the problem is. The second one is asking you to calculate covariance. What's the formula for covariance? What's the formula for covariance now? We're done. Yeah, check your book and tell me
I
formula for.
think summation of probability. Can you hear me?
I hear you, ma, but I don't want you to think.
Okay. Summation of probability multiplied by x minus x bar then y minus y bar.
Summation of probability x minus x bar
Yes.
minus y bar.
Then multiplied by y minus y bar.
Thank you very much, madam. Somebody is raising up. What do you want to tell me? Let me check who's the person. Mr. Dashi, Chris Santos. I've done him before. Don't tell me something. So it's easy. The second one, that covariance is very easy. That's the formula. It's in your material. It's your summation of px minus x bar y minus y bar. So you already have your probability. You already even have your x minus x bar. This is your x minus x bar here. This is your x minus x bar here. Like this. This is your y minus y bar. Oh, sorry, I did not change this into y. Okay. Y minus y bar. Y minus y bar squared. So this is already y. This is your y minus y bar. Just put everything in this box, then multiply them by probability. So the summation of everything after you do this, like after you multiply the probability, the summation of everything is your correlation. So is your covariance. Is your covariance. Please, what's the formula for correlation coefficient?
Covariance x, y, then standard deviation x multiplied by standard deviation y.
Thank you very much, madam. So your covariance x and y, which is the whatever answer you get in this covariance, after you sum everything, whatever answer you get, the total answer you get here, that's your covariance x and y. Standard deviation x, we've gotten it here, 5.01. Standard deviation of y, we've gotten it here, 2.30. Lobaton, you will get your correlation coefficient. I hope that is fine. I told you guys not to do C. I think you guys not to do C. Then you can do the last D part. Do the last D part. You can want to attempt the C, you can also attempt to, but the D part you can do the D. The D is just you using that return and risk formula. That formula give that long snake formula, that weight x squared, standard deviation x squared plus weight y squared, standard deviation y squared plus 12 of all those. That snake formula. Just use it to get your answer. But the thing is, for the first one, your correlation coefficient will be the answer of the correlation coefficients you got earlier in the first question. Like in the B question now, the correlation coefficient you get will be the correlation coefficient you will use. I think the question I asked you that, okay, what if your correlation is +1, 0, +0.5? So you do the same thing again, but you just change the correlation coefficient. You have different answers. I don't know if I'm speaking gibberish. Is anybody that don't understand what I said? Please raise up your hand. Let me see. Please raise up your hand if you don't understand what I said. Afolabi Comfort, which part, please? Afolabi Comfort.
I don't understand that E and D part.
That what?
E. Constant E and
There's no
D.
E there now. There's no E there.
Okay, sorry. D, question D. Then the one that said, yes, that's D. Using the general formula for the main returns and variance of the
Now, that's exactly what I'm saying. Still that long formula, that snake formula. So once you use that snake formula, you would have gotten correlation coefficient in your B. Whatever you get to be the correlation coefficient that you use in the snake. The snake formula is what? The weight of x squared, standard deviation, x squared, plus weight y squared, standard deviation, y squared, plus 2, weight of that long formula. But at the end, there's correlation coefficient at the end of that formula. So what I'm saying is the correlation coefficient you will use will be the last correlation coefficient you will get. I think that is minus 0 point something. So it will be the last correlation coefficient you use. But along the formula, the E formula is not saying that, okay, what will happen if the correlation coefficient is +1? So instead of using the last correlation coefficient you got, you will now use +1. The next one, instead of using that +1, you use, I think, 0.5, you use 0. Just compare the answers.
Thank you, sir.
Madam, is it better? Hey, madam. Tell please, what do you want to ask me?
Okay. I want to ask, please, can you restate the formula for covariance?
There was somebody that stated it. The person that told me formula for covariance, what did the person tell me? I think it was summation probability x minus x bar, open bracket, I'll be close bracket, y minus y bar.
Okay, thank you.
It's just simply multiplying those probability by your x minus x bar and also your y minus y bar. We already have our x minus x bar. We already got, I think it was 4.6, 1.6, blah, blah, blah. And we already had our y minus y bar. It's just simply multiplying probability by all of them.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Chika. Miss Chika.
That's the question I
Okay.
wanted to ask. That was why.
Okay, is it fine now? Is it fine now?
Somehow not too clear.
Those formulas are in your material. So just look at them. I'm sure you see them there. Who got 60s? Here's your question.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's about the coefficient of covariance. So the formula, but you say is in the material. I wanted to catch up with it again.
It's in the material, sir. It's confirmed. I will come. See the formula is in your material now. Most of you have not checked the material. See the formula for variance.
Okay.
This is the formula for your correlation coefficient.
Okay.
And the material.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Oh, yeah. Please attempt this one and send to me. Or let me know if you people did the correct thing. But you people want me to do it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Do it too.
Yes, sir.
Abi, I've done it.
Yes, sir.
Don't even yes, sir. Me, I'm not doing anything. Go attempt it and send to me. Abi, don't your question. Yes, sir. Yes, call. People you have me. People you attempt it and send, please. It's simple now. Just attempt it and send. Just try. Put your pen to paper. Do it. And send to me this night. No, tomorrow.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, thanks for the class, sir. I think you said you are going to give us the 4 formula for solving beta, but you haven't done that.
I mean, I have not. They've not allowed me to solve number 2 now. They say make I solve number 1. It's when I do number 2 I will touch that part.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. All these women, they never allow me go. They say I should do number 1. Please attempt it and send to me. Eshe. Oh, yeah. Number 2. Please, who already saw those questions? Please, I mean that question should please read it for me. Oh yeah.
Which question?
That November 2016. Have you even forgotten?
So,
Can I read?
Madam, they ask. Please read on.
Should I start from the first one, or I should just go to the B part?
Just read your question from this.
Okay. Capital asset pricing mode, CAPL, is an equilibrium model of the trade-off between expected portfolio return and unavoidable risk. What are the basic assumptions on which this model is based?
Oh yeah,
On
what
the
are the
B
answer?
part,
What is the answer? Hold on, please. What is the answer for normal assumptions
Please don't be offended. Which year is that, please?
of
November
November
2016, question 5.
2025.
assumptions of
Thank you.
CAPM? Oh yeah, I'm listening to you people. What are the assumptions
No
of
Market is a perfect
no
market.
transaction cost. No
No
transaction cost.
taxation. No
Jacob?
taxation. Investors are rational. Investors are risk averse.
Well, but there is a perfect market.
Perfect market information.
Assumes that there is a perfect market.
Investors are risk averse.
I think you already read you. Well, assumes that investors are risk averse. Please, we are streaming on YouTube. I think you can try to join the class. The class is a little bit free. Mungbo, I'm listening.
There is no transaction cost.
Because there's no transaction cost, it's still part of that. The market is a perfect market.
Okay.
There's a perfect market means there's no transaction cost, there's free entry, there's free exit, there's no inflation. It's all about
The market is always at equilibrium.
Tashi, thank you. Assumes that the market is always at equilibrium. That is, it means that it's assuming that the demand is always equal to supply. Is it correct? No, now is demand always equal to supply? Like, yeah, another one.
No taxation. Taxation.
No taxation. It's still on perfect market now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sold something about information that time.
Yeah,
There's
investors have
perfect
access to the
information
same
available.
information.
All information are available.
It's still under perfect market.
No.
Risks
The
are
investors,
measured by standard deviation.
the investors have access to all information. No, the thing is, when I say it's still under perfect market, you can split it though. But what I'm trying to, please, there's somebody's that is noisy. What I'm trying to avoid is your mic. There's somebody that is disturbing my class. So
Another one is
Masirat, please, your mic, please. Thank you. So what I'm saying is when I say something is still on, when I say it's under perfect market, what I'm trying to have, we can still split it, say no transaction cost. No, what I'm trying to avoid, students. So look at number one, assume that there is no transaction cost. Number two, that there is no tax. Number three, that there is free entry. Number four, that there is free exit. Do you understand? But what I'm trying to avoid is have a whole lot of all those things can still be classified under one. But if you can, okay, if I was in an exam now, if I was in an exam situation now, now there's somebody's mic that is unmuted. People have started. Oh. Mr. Moses, please.
Sorry, sir.
So what I'm saying is, if I'm in an exam situation and I've already written this 4 and I don't know anything I want to write again, number 5, I can come and write that. Assume that there is no taxation, or assumes that there is what's that one you were saying, that there is no transaction cost. You can come and write like law, it will go. Because examiner will reason it that okay. He knows it. Do you understand? But you just coming to write that, assume that there's a perfect market, number 1. Number 2, there is no transaction cost. Number 3, no taxation. Number 4, free entry. Person will look at it, guy just wants, it will limit your mark. But if you write all these ones, it still makes sense. Yeah, another one. Assumes that, I think you said,
They assume that the beta coefficient is the only measure of risk.
It assumes that beta coefficient is the only measure of risk. Is it true?
I don't know.
Is it true?
I don't know.
No,
How will
no.
you see?
No.
How will you say you don't know? Should we just mention systematic and
Alpha
non-systematic risk?
risk.
And we just said one is alpha, one is beta. So how is
Yes.
beta the only measure of risk? Alpha is there now. Anyways, this was our question. Yeah, the B part. What did we calculate for B part?
So they said currently the rate of return on the federal government bond redeemable at par in the year 2018 is 5%. The securities of 4 companies, Akira PLC, Bombardier PLC, Courage PLC, and Divine PLC, have expected returns of 12%, 9.5%, 10.5%, and 13% respectively. The average expected return on the market portfolio is 10%, subject to a 6% risk standard deviation. Other relevant information relating to the 4 securities of the companies is as stated below. So we have standard deviation and we have correlation coefficients. So we have for Akira PLC, we have Bombardier PLC, we have Courage PLC, and Divine PLC. For Akira is 0.0880, 0.975 for correlation. Bombardier 0.075 and 0.640 for correlation coefficient. Courage PLC 0.090 standard deviation and 0.740.
Now leave all those ones. Be quiet.
Okay, so you are required to show which of the companies is or are overvalued.
Determine the valuation of the company. Now, let me first come and write methods of estimating. Let me come and write it here before I come and maybe. Okay, let me do it like this. Let me see. Let me try and see. Methods of estimating beta value. So let me go. I'm going to copy beta. I beg. No get energy. Sorry, I'm tired. What was I doing? Okay. Please, this one is not in any of your material. I don't know how it skipped my mind. So please, you can write it now, please. So let me see. The first one is beta equals to. I wanted to call somebody, I don't forget. So equals to, so you see, so you see excess return on security over excess return on the market. So what I'm saying is RS minus RF over RM minus RF. So that's the first one. The second one is are we together?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever put your head on the table? The second one is covariance covariance of security of the market.
Sir, can you make this thing bold, David?
Yes, ma. Covariance of the security of the market or variance of the market. So this one is your cove SM over variance. Where do I see variance from now? I don't. I cannot get variance from anywhere. No go. So this is the third one. No, you are silent like this. I do feel.
We are following you, sir.
Say so. Yeah. Hmm. Look at this number 4. This number 4 will not come out.
I don't understand this number 3. How would
That's why I
I
say.
cannot see it.
That's why I say I'm too, madam. How times what's the name? Standard deviation of X of your security over standard deviation of the market. Do you get?
Yes, I
Madam,
got
do you
it.
get? Thank you. I don't say this chart thing no easy. Formula that you don't know the one that will come out and you have to know all of them. None might even come out. That's the sad part. So please, you can snap or whatever. So these are the 4 formulas of estimating beta. So whenever you're asked to determine beta, or whenever you're not given information relating to beta or whatever, these are any of the formulas you can use. But don't just pick anyone. Somebody's unmuted, please. You're covering. Please, if you are the one, please check and mute your mic. So what I'm saying is, Mr. Depending on whatever that you are asked to, what am I saying? Don't forget. Okay. Depending on the information you are provided with, that is the one that that will determine which one you are to use. Do you understand? It's not as if you just pick anyone from Adam and decide to use anyone, but you just have to look and determine the ones that the one that the informations are provided. What I'm saying is, if you read the questions and you're seeing information relating to excess return on security or excess return on the market, you know you're supposed to use the first one. The second one, if you see covariance of security of the market and you're seeing variance of the market, you know you're supposed to use the second one. The third one is majorly about correlation. You know your R, don't forget from our snake formula. Your R represents your correlation coefficient. So if you look at your question, you're seeing information relating to correlation coefficient, you're seeing standard deviation. You know this thing means standard deviation now. You're seeing information relating to correlation coefficient and standard deviation, both for the security and for the market. You know you have to use the third one. Then the fourth one, if you are seeing the whole information on the security X and security Y and all the blah blah blah, you know you have to use this last one. Usually, normally, these are the two ones that are very, very common. This number 2 and number 3. Usually, these are the two ones that are common that I can use to set. So please focus. I'm not saying you should not focus on the main, but focus on these two more. So either you have information relating to your covariance, or you have information relating to your variance, or you have information relating to your correlation coefficients and of your standard deviation. But yeah, so for this question now, this one we are doing now is if you are not giving beta. In some questions, they might have given you beta already. So if you are giving beta, fine, just move on, all well and good. But if you are not giving beta, just look for how to determine this stuff. But if you look at that question, there's nothing there that relates to beta. And you don't forget that for you to value, you have to get your required return. Don't forget where we are coming from. For you to actually do any if it's undervalued or overvalued, you need to get your required return so that you can subtract your what? You can subtract your estimated return or expected return from your required return. But now we don't even have beta. And if you want to get a required return, I think your required return should always be your CAPM formula. Don't forget, I mentioned it in the last class. Whenever you get required return, first thing that should come to your mind is CAPM. So don't forget that if you want to get required return, you need to use CAPM. If you want to do CAPM, you need your risk-free, which is in the question. You need your market return, which is in the question. You need your beta. Well, is beta in the question? No. So you have to now go and determine beta. So you now come here and say determination of beta for each security. So according to this formula now, which one do you think we should use?
With the correlation, number 3.
Number 2.
Well done. Oh yeah, I like the way I'm having different.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Who use the number 3 formula?
We would have said number 2. Why do we want us to use number 2? I'm just asking, why do you want us to use?
I did not understand the formula for number 3.
Standard deviation and the correlation of.
You are not giving me enough reason. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, something else. Why am I using number 2? I already explained to you, based on the information provided for you. Information provided for you is written there in capital letter. Correlation coefficient, standard variation. But what is there now is covariance. You cannot use covariance. And there is no information that relates to covariance that is in that question. I hope I'm speaking to people.
Yes.
What I'm saying, you can only use the formula that informations provided are given to you. You cannot, this covariance and variance, now where do you want to provide them from? Informations are not given to you in the question now, so you cannot just provide figures. So what I'm saying is you can only use the ones that the figures are provided. And if you look at the questions, you have information relating to what? Correlation coefficient, which is this number 3. This B. This R represents correlation. Maybe I should write it. Come on. Somebody's on mute and it's disturbing my class. want to hear any, I don't understand anything again. No. I've written the meaning of the formula here. So I just hope it's clear now. So this is what this means. It means, thank you. So it means the correlation coefficient and standard deviation of the market. So based on the information provided in the question, which one are we supposed to use?
The number three.
Number 3.
Thank you very much. So now let's start. So let's say, so you have to calculate for each and every one of them. So we have security A, B, C, D, Abi. I know this would not work. So let's now start. Let's say, so equals to, copy the formula. Copy the formula. So the beta equals to this, Abi. So what's the correlation coefficient for
A,
security
0.75.
0.75.
0.9,
The standard
0.975.
975. Standard deviation of the security
0.080.
0.080.
standard deviation of the market.
That is 6%.
I don't have the question. I hope people are calling right figure for me.
Yes, 6%. Standard deviation of the market is 6%.
Sorry, sir, that for A is 0.080.
Okay, 0.080.
Yes.
This one is 6%, so that's 0.6, Abi. 6%, 0.06. Okay. So what's my beta?
1.3.
If you guys are doing this beta thing and you're getting weird figures. I mean, you are getting 10, 9. Just know you are doing something wrong. I already told you in the last class. Yeah. Yeah, what's the correlation coefficient?
0.640.
640. The standard deviation.
0.075.
0.075. So what's the beta?
0.8.
0.8.
Security 5.
0.740. 0.090.
0.090. What's my standard deviation?
0.06.
0.06.
1.11.
0.11.
Jesus. Oh, yeah. So what's my correlation coefficient?
0.680.
0.680.
0.150.
Eh?
0.150.
150. What's my beta?
1.7.
1.7.
So if we determine our beta now, first problem solved. But don't forget, this is just determination of beta. We've not done anything. So we're not going to do determination or calculation of what now? Of required
Return.
return. So you come here, you say security A, security B. All these things in motion. Anyways, say security C. This is security D. So yeah. So let's write it here. Say using what? Using what?
CAPM.
Using CAPM. It is equals to your cost of equity equals to your risk-free plus either beta day again plus beta RM minus Abi.
Yes, sir.
Abi.
Yes, now.
Yes.
So what's our risk-free for security A?
0.05%.
5%.
5% is risk-free.
Plus what's the beta for security A? 1.3.
1.3.
What's our market return?
10%.
So 10 minus 5. That's equals to what?
11.5.
11.5.
So our expected return for this is 11.5%. This one, security B. So 5 plus 0.85, Abi.
Yes, please. 9%.
9%. So 1 minute, please. What's my answer?
10.55.
10.55.
So 5 plus 1.7.
13.5.
13.5. Excellent. So you can now say determination of alpha value. So you say security. Please don't forget, it's always expected minus required though. Don't put it the other way. Is it expected return in percentage? You see required return. You see alpha value. And you see decision. So for security A, B, C, A, B, C, D,
Yes, please.
A, B, C, D. So the expected return for security A.
12%.
12%.
12%.
Security B. Bingo.
9.5%.
9.5.
9.5. C.
10.5.
10.5%.
Dingo.
And
13.
13%.
So what are required return? The one we got 11.5. 9.
10.55. 13.5.
13.5. So yeah, our alpha value is what? Expected return minus required return.
0.5.
0.5.
0.5.
Positive.
5. 0.5.
0.5. 0.
Yes.
And this one, okay.
Negative 0.3.
Negative 0.5.
So our decision, what are our decision? Is it overvalued or is it undervalued?
For A is undervalued, we should buy more.
A is what?
Undervalued.
Should buy more. B
We
is
should buy more.
undervalued. C.
How do you guys determine this undervalued and overvalued?
No pull.
When expected is higher
Return
than
minus
required.
required.
Expected is higher than required. It is positive. And if it is positive, it is undervalued. And our decision will be to buy more.
Actually,
Excuse me, sir.
I'm with you, ma.
Sir, that C required return is 10.55, not 10.5.
Just take it as approximation-ish. There will always, in your question, there will always be one that will give you 0 because they want to test if you actually understand all of them. They will be like it's supposed to test all of them: undervalued, fairly valued, and overvalued. You understand? So it's supposed to test all of them usually because they want to test if you actually know all of them. So I'm assuming that this 10.55 is just approximation error. It's 10.5. They've done all of this and they know the answer you're supposed to get. I'm sure it's just approximation error. Thank you. Go ahead, like this, Abby.
Sir, the last one is
last one should
overvalued.
be to sell.
It's overvalued.
I know. I just wanted to see
And
if
we
you
have to
guys,
sell.
know. So this is the answer to the question. No? How many marks is this question? 20 marks. No, 20, but the two questions.
So it's 15 marks now.
It's 15. 35 to go. This one is simple. It's too simple for a what? 15 marks. See as it's easy. 35 to go.
They'll have assigned 20 marks now.
No, usually if anybody has checked Pathfinder, because me I have, I think this is the only year that it came out number 5. It's usually number 4, and it's 20 marks.
20 marks.
Usually, I think this is the only year. I think this is the only year that it came out.
Let my people go.
Yes, like usually number 4, question 4, question 4.
It's usually question 4. This is the only that it came out number 5. So it's 20 marks. So if you see questions like bond valuation too is cheap, but bond valuation is mad sometimes. But I feel like if you understand cost of capital, like the cost of debt part, and you understand bond very well, you can just try to change it, but I think you will do well. So these are the questions that you should not run away from. Bond value, portfolio theory, easy peasy. Bond valuation, you can gather marks from those questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Please, you're welcome. in this question, the another trick part that I can come from is this expected return they give to you. They might not give it to you. If they want to lock this question, the way it's cheap like this, if I can want to lock it, this expected return, they will not give it to you. But they will give you informations that will help you to calculate this expected return. I've told you two usual ways that they can tell you to calculate this expected return. Either they give you the probability, the return or predicted return, like the one we finished solving. They would not give you return. So you're supposed to just multiply the probability by the what? By the return given to you in the question. You get your expected return. I've told you what expected return is simply just telling you is okay, I want to put this money in this business. I've not put it already. So all the returns will be based on probability. Okay, if I put 1 million naira in this thing, there's 70% chance I will make this money. There's 30% chance I will make this one. There's 70% chance I will make this one. It's just expected. It needs to do with probability. So once you see probability in the question, you see a particular place, and you see a particular return in the question, just multiply the probability by the return given to you in your question, you get your expected return. Not another way they can lock the question. So once you have your expected return, just come and use KPM to determine your required return, subtract it, get your alpha value, decide, and move on. As easy as ABC. There's nothing in portfolio theory, nothing at all. So I expect each and every one of you now to try questions today, tomorrow, before. Please do that my assignment I gave you. So people now assume that no give you assignment. I went to do that first one. So what will people now be doing? I like go and solve that. I'm not supposed to go and solve it, please. Solve it and submit. Thank you.
Sir, what's the assignment, sir?
I don't know. There was one question I was solving. That assignment I gave people last week. I think I did only the A part. I think you guys can complete it.
The B and C.
Okay.
The correlation and covariance.
Okay.
And the last one, so that one I told you to substitute this one, that one. The return. I think it was only the C I told you not to do. And it's because the C is a little bit here and there. So that's why I told you not to do it. I think but do the rest apart from that C. So do the rest. But if anybody wants to attempt that C, I'm very, very open to it. I'll check it. So please do that one and check. See, if I were you now, I think.
When do you say, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. So I think, what I want to talk. Voila. Let me just say something else. So on this note, I think most of you should be able to attempt questions on portfolio theory now, honestly. But you will not know until you actually try. I've told you the first method to fail SFM is to use eye contact. Eye contact, that's the first road to failure. Say, okay, you look at with your eye. Now what you do with this multiplied by this divided by this, okay. He gave us this, okay, this is the answer. Okay, and you close your book. You say you have read. Well
Honestly,
done.
that is the problem.
Well done. Well done. That's path to failure. Road to failure. Make an even lie. Road to failure. Let me bust your head. Let me bust your bubble. You can try it anywhere and quote me anywhere. That thing you've done, that eye contact you've done, just try it one day. That thing you've said, okay, they divided this thing by this. They divided. Now close that book. Throw it somewhere. That question, I attempt it. Voila, you get it wrong. I can bet money on it. That question, if you don't get it wrong, there will be somewhere you'll be stopped. If you are not stuck, there's a figure you will look for. How did they get this one? This one is not part of what your eye contact said. You will look for the figure, you will not see it. But the problem is, or the solution to that particular thing is, don't do eye contact. Eye contact is not going to help you anywhere. It cannot do any good for you. Just try as much as possible. Take calculator, take biro, or anything. Look at the question. If you want to do eye contact first, look at the question and say, okay, I understand this thing. This is the first step. Determine your required return. After the required, they now determine this one. After they determine, so they now got this one. Okay. Now close that book. Now carry biro and paper and calculator and be pressing it and be writing it and be solving it again. Don't be lazy and be solving it again and again. Okay, once you solve it, if you solve it and you get stuck, you can check it. Okay, this was what they did. If you solve it the first, there's some people that did PM, learning curve now. The learning curve sets in. Okay, you've learned it the first time. You've learned even dollar learning curve. I don't believe there's any dollar anyways. But what I'm saying is, even people that are not particularly entirely that smart, learning curve always setting for everybody. If you keep doing something at the same time, you get used to it. Do you understand? You get used to it. That's the way our brain operates. So what I'm saying is, if you solved it the first time, you've solved this question like that the second time, it becomes part and parcel of you. There's somebody that is just looking at it with his eyes, that eye contact. People should beware. They are just looking at it. Okay, 0.97. Okay, they go 1.3. Okay. Sharp. You use 10 minutes. You close your book. You say you are done. May God be with you. Please don't do that. Please solve these questions again, the ones we've solved. So if I were you now that really want to pass this diet, all the questions, I think all the questions in our question bank, I will not look for maybe one midnight, maybe tomorrow. Today is already gone. For people that want to fast like me like this, today is already gone. Tomorrow, maybe I don't know any class you have to, maybe you not start like 9 or 10. You will not carry by, will start solving. Maybe today at work, you would have brought out all those past questions, everything that has portfolio theory. If you can print, people used to print a lot, things that are not even important, you used to print it in your office. So to print questions will add you. So all those questions, now print them one by one, pack them together, put them in a file. You can see portfolio theory. So maybe tomorrow start from like 9. All the questions in our question bank, even if it's the first one, now start solving them again. So after you've solved number 1, you can go and check the answer. Okay, this is the mistake you made, correct yourself. Check number 2, but make sure you touch those Pathfinder questions too. Please, if you get stuck, please always text me. Please, don't send me questions to solve for you, and that one I no go do. I already told you from the first day. Don't send me and say I should solve it for you. What am I, AI? No, I will not solve it for you. But try it and get stuck. Now show me and say, okay, Oga, you be like I don't look for here. What do you think I should do? How do you think I should go from here? And I can tell you that, okay, cancel this one, do this one. The lady I told you in the beginning, she already solved the question, but it was not giving her what happened at the back. So I told her, okay, this is most likely your mistake. I think she corrected it and it worked. But don't now send me questions and say I should go and look for Biro. I don't even know. I don't even have Biro in my house. So I should go and look for Biro and help you solve it. No go work. So please look at those questions and solve them on your own. Try them, rack your head, stress your brain, so that you can always get to use those things very well. So please check questions, solve questions, send questions to me. And I'll try as much as possible to look at them. Please, do you have any question regarding anything I've done or I've spoken about today? Time has gone, please. I've checked, I think I told you, but I've checked YouTube and my classes are always the longest. I don't know what they talk about. Other lecturers, 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. My own, more than 2 hours. To watch it signal, and they always fear me. Mr. Abiodun, you want to tell me something, please? Mr. Abiodun, you want to tell me something? Thank you. Chris Santos, you want to tell me something? Chris Santos, you want to tell me something? Okay. Please, is there anybody that wants to ask me any question regarding what I've spoken about today? Any question, please?
Yes, please. Good evening. Thank you for today's class. You say something about when to use that long snake formula. When do we use it, sir? Please.
When they ask you to calculate portfolio risk or portfolio return.
Okay, thank you.
That is like a general portfolio risk or the general portfolio return. That's when you use the snake formula. Oh, fine. Okay. Mr. Francis, how do Francis? Is your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I just want to relate, or I'm trying to relate this alpha value with alpha risks. Please, can you really can you expatiate on what the alpha value represents? Is it the alpha risks that we are talking about here? I'm trying to relate it because they are all alpha. So that is what
You should leave relationship. Qualify first. Just understand. That's what one lecturer used to say. That don't ask why. That is what, just qualify first. When you qualify, you go define why. They leave why for people that wrote SFM book first. When you are qualified and you are chartered, you can now go back and say, hey, that thing I don't understand that time. Why did they even do it like this first? You are calm, you are composed to look for the why and the relationship. That's what I will tell you too. But the thing is, alpha value and alpha risk. The thing is, alpha risk usually, how would I say it? How would I explain it now? You know that, oh my God, how would I say this now? Not confuse you. But listen, you know, alpha risk I used to measure what? I used to measure unsystematic risk, Abi. Now, when it comes to unsystematic risk, when you're trying to get alpha value you're trying to determine, they are just basically it's just a terminology. It's just a terminology to determine, okay, if a particular investment or a particular portfolio, if it is undervalued, overvalued, it's just the only thing that correlates them is just the alpha, and the alpha there is basically the risk. Even those ones that are undervalued, overvalued, there's a risk involved. So it's just the systematic risk part that is representing the alpha part of it. But it's the value. When it goes to alpha value, it's the value that they're actually checking. But the alpha part is basically just the risk that is involved. And that is why most of them usually have correlation coefficients, because it's just particularly trying to check the correlation between the securities, both the beta risk and the alpha risk compared together, just trying to check the relationship between them. But anyways, the alpha value part of it compared to alpha risk is a risk, alpha value is a value. But the value, obviously, the value you are checking is a value of a portfolio. The portfolio you are trying to value also has a risk attached, and the risk that attached is usually alpha risk. That is just what they are trying to say there. Tolo. Did you go, Mr. Francis? Abi you hook? You can answer me again. Miss Kiton, please, your question.
Okay, the assignment you said we should do the D part. You said we should use standard deviation of portfolio. Then which other formula? There are two.
Standard waiting.
The one you said we should use risk portfolio and something.
I don't remember. I don't think I said anything like that.
Okay, sorry. Can you go back to the question so that I can show you?
Oh, Jim. No, you are supposed to be buying me Montina and meat. Because I feel like I've explained everything that related to that question. Where the question there. This one.
Yes, this one. You said we should calculate the standard deviation of the portfolio. Then the the recomputation of the mean return, variance, and stuff.
Do the return and variance now. When you calculate all those things, you will get all these things. What this question is simply saying is, once you use that formula, you would get the return of the portfolio and you get risk. Risk is the variance of the portfolio. You get standard deviation, which represents risk. Could have gotten variance now. It's just that long formula that you are using. The question is just long. You see that long, but like, when you do that long shape now, before you do the square root, you would have gotten variance first. That's after that answer. The standard deviation is the standard deviation. And return also has its own formula. Just attempt it, please. Attempt it. You see what I'm saying? Please. Please, can I go?
Yes, you can go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
On that
sir.
note,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much for listening to me. I'll see you either on Wednesday or next week, Monday. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, man.
Thank you. Good night, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night, man.